Okay. Damn it. Ah,
What happened?
nothing. I'm just trying to. I keep forgetting that I can't switch accounts on my iPad for Twitter. It's really weird.
That is weird.
That's crazy that Embiid had a 40-point triple double.
I know. It's the first one since Wilt. Even Jokic hasn't had one.
Jokic has a 40-point triple double.
They
This
just.
season, he against the Clippers. Remember?
Well, I thought Stat News just said like it's the
It's
first
probably
one.
the first Sixers 40-point triple double since Will.
Oh yeah. Okay. Never mind. I was like, I swear Jokic just had one.
Yeah, he had one this season. Jabari Walker. Colorado's beating Utah.
Damn, McCollum had 36.
Yeah, they still lost. They need Zion back really bad. Okay, I think we can just start. I don't know if we should wait too long. But yeah, Nikola Jokic. That is the story of the game today. He started off the game hot and then forgot that he could shoot, and then
It happens.
yeah, and then in the fourth quarter, he got aggressive again, and Malone seemed to have learned from his mistakes in the last game, which is good to see. He made a quick turnaround on that. Played Bones to close, and Bones had a huge three. He had a couple nice passes into Jokic for assists. So it's good to see that. Really good to see that. But yeah, the story of the game is just Jokic. I mean, that he misses the 2 free throws at the end, and then he gets the block to kind of make up for it. Huge. It's fourth. I'm pretty sure it's his fourth game-winning block of the season so far, which is just,
Of the season?
yeah.
Damn.
I think at least I've seen that. I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Dude, that's a lot.
Yeah, because I know last year he had the one against Zion.
Yeah.
He's had one against the Rockets this season. I don't know if he had another one. I know against the
Trying to
Timberwolves,
think.
he had like a contest after Barton had
Yeah.
a really good contest at the end. I don't know if he actually got credit for a block, but
I don't. Jokic just seems to become like the greatest shot blocker in history when it's in the last like 5 seconds.
yeah.
Somehow he just uses all of his remaining athleticism and stamina.
That was legitimately the most athletic play I think I've ever seen him make. I mean, he rotated from so far away to make that, and he pinned it against the glass too, and perfect timing. It was when they replayed it, I was like, oh, that's actually very close to a goaltend.
I know it was.
Yeah, but he got it off. So that was ridiculous. And I think something that I've noticed is that Jokic, ever since MPJ went down, and ever since he's been out for the season, or not out for the season, but ever since he's been out, Jokic has kind of took like a LeBron approach to playing defense. So because he knows he has to do everything for the team on offense, he won't try on defense for most of the game. And then in the fourth quarter and in crunch time, he will try and he'll become incredible. And that's like, and it's paid off already, like 2 or 3 times already in this season. Like he's just such a good defender in the clutch. He just tries harder. Like it's so simple.
Yeah, I mean, he gets steal. He seems like he's always in the right place. He gets steals. He covers the post well.
Yeah.
Like anytime anyone tries to really post him up in the clutch, other than really like Zubac earlier this year, he pretty much handles it.
Mm-hmm. And he had a lot. I'm pretty sure he contests the most shots in the league, but it's because the Nuggets allow the most like drives to the basket in the league. Like there's more, we allow the most shots at the rim in the league, so obviously he's going to contest the most. But I mean, he's in the right positions almost every single time. It's just his lack of athleticism really, really hurts him in points. But
yeah,
he knows how to use it well late in games, and it really paid off. Some other things about this game, Bones Highland, I thought he played really, really good. He had 11 points, didn't shoot great, 4 of 11, 3 of 9 from 3. But I honestly like the shots that he took. He didn't like rush anything. He took all of them in the flow of the offense. If he was open, he shot it. He drove in. So he did have 4 turnovers, but he had 4 assists.
Yeah,
and he was a +7, which is the second highest on the team behind Jokic. So you could tell that in the clutch he was comfortable. He didn't like make any poor decisions. He knew exactly what to do. He was calm, which is nice to see. And like I mentioned earlier, it's good that Malone closed with him because he said he should have done it last night.
Yeah, there was this one like little possession I noticed. It was super late in the game. I can't remember if it led up. What led up to the Jokic free throws? I didn't see that. Was it just a take foul?
The Jokic free throws? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. It was weird. So
it must. Okay.
Van Vliet hit like an insane shot. Fred Van Vliet was incredible today. I mean, he only was 7 of 14, but he was 6 of 11 from 3, and I don't think he hit rim on any of his shots.
I know. It's insane. It's just
rainbows.
Yeah.
Same with Siakam. Siakam was incredible. The 35, 10, and 7 on 16 of 22. Incredible efficiency.
Yeah.
But so Van Vliet hits the 3. Then Barton, he got like trapped in the corner on the inbound when they were trying to foul, but he got out of it and we called timeout.
Right.
And then it was just a normal take foul.
Okay. So I think it must have been the possession after that when Barton hit that fading like mid-range to put him up 4. Like Bones came up the court. It's like a rookie, and he comes up the court and he's just dribbling around, like not losing the ball or anything. And I was like confident. I'm like, damn, that's pretty good for a rookie to he was like dribbling all in and out, trying to get up to half court.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't turn the ball over or whatever. I felt comfortable with him dribbling. And usually with a rookie, it's like, oh God, like is someone going to steal it? Is he going to dribble it off his foot or something?
Yeah. No, he's incredibly comfortable with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
For a rookie, especially a rookie who played shooting guard in college, for him to be a point guard and be the guy initiating the offense for most of the game, especially in the fourth quarter, he looked extremely, extremely calm, which is very rare, like you said, for a rookie. This is a 6th game DeMarcus Cousins has played with Denver, and the Nuggets are 6-0 in those games. It's just like clear. He only played 13 minutes today, but you could see his impact. Yeah. The team was generating good looks when he was initiating the offense inside the paint. You could tell his defense was making an impact. If he was just able to make wide open layups.
I know he missed that one after he got that rebound back.
Yeah. I literally like stood up and I was just like, oh my God, there's no way. That was literally his 5th missed layup.
He would dunk that, like slam it in his prime. I'm like, oh my God, this dude is so washed. But like he's just a completely different player now. He's just big and he just a presence.
Yeah.
That gobbles up rebounds, pretty good passer. And I mean, he's lost all scoring ability, but that's pretty much it.
But I mean, I think you're 6-0 in games that he plays. Like, to me, that's like, all right. He clearly makes an impact on the bench. I think him and Zeke play much better than him and JaMychal Green because the spacing with him and Green was like really off because neither of them, I mean, both of them can shoot threes. They just neither of them are shooting well this season, so teams are content with letting them shoot. It's like JaMychal Green went 1 for 4, and on like all 4 of his looks were wide open, and he missed every single one.
Yeah.
So the paint was just like a little clog, which is why I'm pretty sure that's why he missed all of his layups. I mean, there was just so many people around him. But I think with Zeke out there in the corner instead of Green, I mean, you can't sag off at all. So some of those shots are going to come just way, way easier for Boogie. So, I really liked it. Campazzo, he played okay.
Yeah.
But okay. He played much better defensively. I'll say that. Today, he had a strong defensive game. Offensively, he missed like 2 or 3 layups where you're just like, all right.
Oh my God, I know.
Come on.
Like they were wide open.
I mean, they're wide open. And it's just like, how does an NBA player miss those?
I know. That's what I was saying.
It's not even like, how does an NBA player, how is a professional player? Because he played like 10 years overseas. I'm pretty sure he could make a layup then. I don't know what happened when he got to the league.
It's not because of his height either. Like I don't understand it. It's not like there was anyone around him that he had to.
Yeah. Like there was one he missed on the fast break where he there wasn't even anybody contesting it. He just straight up missed. He just missed it. And then obviously there was the one where he went underneath the basket where he just bricked it.
Yeah.
That was bad. But I thought he played well on defense. He was making life very difficult for Gary Trent, he's been on a tear recently, and he went 5 for 12. Like I said, a good job on him.
Dude, oh my God, Gary Trent, dude. This guy, he is on Marcus Smart level of flopping.
Oh, yeah, the flops were
God, it was
ridiculous.
Egregious. And the refs didn't fall for any of them. The Toronto announcers were funny. They were like, oh my God, that's a foul. And it's like, there were like 2 against Campazzo. Obviously, Campazzo was like 5'9" and like doesn't have strength. And Gary just, oh my God, I just can't respect players like that. Like, I'm sorry. He's just
the one on Bones was even funnier because like you look at Bones, like he's like us. He looks like
I know.
Like he does not have any sort of muscle.
Yeah.
How in the world would he have made you fall over like that? So
I have no idea. I think he had 3. It might have even been 4. Like just completely like not even close to being pushed or anything.
The thing is, like,
hands back and falling down. Like, come on.
Floppers who do that, players who do that, like they don't even need to flop. Like the most notorious floppers in the league, like you look at like Marcus Smart is like a notorious flopper, but he doesn't need to do that. He's good enough defensively where he can just make you frustrated by playing good defense instead of flopping. Like Patrick Beverly, I guess, because he's undersized. Facu, because he's undersized. Like I understand why they flop because they can use that to their advantage. But like Smart, Trent, Anthony Davis, like it's just like, come on. I mean, do not need, like if you just play straight up, you're gonna get the foul anyway.
Right. And this was the same officiating crew as the one in Boston last night. So I was like, happy that they didn't call the flop after. Yeah. Maybe they just like felt bad for that flagrant that wasn't called a flagrant last night.
A huge key in this game is I'm just looking at the box score. Denver out-rebounded Toronto by 15. So that was the key. Denver had 12 offensive rebounds, which is huge. I mean, coming into the game, Malone kept talking about Toronto's ability to offensive rebound, and Denver out-rebounded them by a lot. Once again,
the turnovers.
Marcus Cousins because of that.
Yeah, sure. The turnovers were horrible for us.
Jokic came out after last night's game and he says, like, me and Will, just our chemistry hasn't been really good. And you could tell, like, this game, now that I'm like looking for that, you can definitely tell. I mean, on dribble handoffs, it's just not the same. When Barton is handling the ball and Jokic is like calling for a pick or calling for the ball, Barton just does like the complete opposite for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And like sometimes they'll turn out good. Like at the end of the game, Barton hit the huge shot to give Denver a 4-point lead, but other times it will not work out good. He had a decent game today. He had a good all-around game. Yeah, but it's just like moments like that where you're just like, how do you not know how to play with him? You've been here his entire career. You played with him for 7 seasons.
Oh yeah, I mean he always passes up these easy entry passes into Jokic. Like, they're easy. I mean, Jokic is like wide open. He's got a smaller guy on him.
Yeah.
Like, pass the ball. Like, what are you looking at? Like, he looks at Jokic, stares him in the eyes and just doesn't pass. He just attacks the rim. I'm like, what are you doing? But I mean, he plays well most games.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like with Barton, there's so many different things you have to, because like he'll have some of these really stupid plays, but he'll also have a couple of big plays. Like he had 2 huge threes in the game to keep Denver in it, like momentum wise. Like you said, he played really good defense on Gary Trent. He's been much better defensively over the last couple of games after he had struggled for like a month. Bryn Forbes also, I mean, he was really bad in the first half, but in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter, he had a couple of huge shots.
Yeah.
So good on him. He needs to be able to get going. Like, because he
does.
We need a shooter like him in the postseason. Like the bench, obviously, you're going to move Jeff Green to the bench. Jeff Green also had a very, very good game.
He did.
19, 5, and 5.
Yeah. He had a lot of and ones and
hit
threes.
He was being aggressive, getting to the rim.
Yeah.
Which is what, I mean, we wanted to see that before. I mean, he was just like a non-factor over the last couple of weeks. But today, his best game in a long time. So very good to see that. But like Forbes, you're going to move Green to the bench. You're going to move Monte to the bench, obviously. But still, if you are going to run an 8-man, 9-man rotation in the postseason, the 9-man is normally what Malone does. I mean, you stagger MPJ or Jamal with the bench. That's still only like one shooter out there. Because, like, you got Monte, then Jamal, or MPJ, probably Jamal, and then like Zeke and Boogie or something. Like I think you need one more out there.
Yeah, I agree.
So Forbes has got to get going. He played well today in the fourth quarter. He had a couple of big shots, so good to see that. Austin Rivers had a couple of nice drives, but I don't know why Davon Reed doesn't play over him. That's still my biggest.
That was wild to me how Malone chose to play JaMychal and Cousins and Rivers over Reed after Najee was out. I thought when Najee was out, like when they announced that Malone would put Reed in, but it's just he just doesn't. I really don't get it.
Yeah, literally every single time he's come in, he's played well. He's played productive minutes.
He doesn't do any like stupid things. He hits his shots.
He's a very smart player. He's a very good defender. He's an exceptional shooter. Like I know he had a rough game earlier, but I mean on the season he's shooting 43% from 3 in 14 minutes a game when he plays. That's pretty good.
Yeah. In
30 games shooting 43% from 3, like that's legit. That's legit production.
Yep.
So it's an odd situation. I don't know what Malone is doing with it, honestly.
There has to be like I don't know. Like, are they like saving games for this? Because he's on like a 2-way contract.
He's on a 2-way, but they changed the requirements, so he's not postseason eligible, but he doesn't have a number of games that he can be with the team. Like they removed that requirement. So like he should be like fine. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because if he plays full minutes, Denver doesn't even need to go in the buyout market and sign a guy like Gary Harris.
Right.
Like DeAndre Bembry, I've seen a lot of Knicks fans climbing for, who I would also love if Gary isn't available. Bembry would be a great option. But like he's literally that type of player. He's a guy who shoots threes. He's a good defender. He's a smart guy. He doesn't do anything dumb. It doesn't make sense why he's not playing. So
Scotty Barnes played an interesting game. I don't know, like, is this how he plays? Like he just doesn't shoot. I didn't realize Scotty Barnes doesn't shoot threes.
He's not a jump shooter.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like he was just push shot like Rashawn Holmes type.
Yeah,
tough the entire game. I was like, really? Like this is how he.
I mean,
I don't know.
I still think he's going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing that. Like he only shot 1 3, but he had 17 points on a 7 of 14 shooting. He played as good a defense as you could have asked being mismatched. I mean, Toronto didn't play a center the entire game, and I mean, it was really just OG and Scotty on Jokic the whole game, and they did as good a job as you could have asked. So, yeah, once he develops a jumper, he's going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
He's going to be really, really good.
He's definitely. I think that's what you kind of look for, like, as a rookie. I would say, just guys that are just like solid in their first.
Yeah.
Like you look at Ayo DeSumo, Bones Highland has been solid. Scotty Barnes just solid. Like they don't do anything crazy. They just play within the offense, and they're
especially on a team that's competitive.
Yeah.
Like teams like Toronto, like Chicago for Ayo, and like Denver for Bones. Like teams that are competitive, you don't want rookies to do too much and like kind of develop on the fly like that. Like you want them to develop on the fly. You just don't want them to develop in the wrong ways.
Right.
Which is like making mistakes in like bad situations. You want to make mistakes early in the game so they can kind of like solidify their place in that. So
Kuminga in Golden State too.
Yeah, Kuminga, they've done a really good job developing him. I think he had a dunk earlier in this game that they're playing right now. That was
he is really good, man.
Yeah.
God, he's 18 and 8.
He's really solid. 8 of 10 shooting. He's very similar to Scotty. Like
he is. I know. I was about to say.
He's really, really solid defensively, but just once he gets a jump shot, man, it's going to be hard because he might have been the most athletic guy in the draft. Him and Jalen Green, like I think Jalen Green as a guard definitely the most athletic, but Kuminga overall with his size and his strength, also with his jumping ability, like it's tough to stop that. And like Golden State and Denver are like the two best teams at developing young talent. I mean, look at Golden State. They had 2 years where they didn't miss the playoffs, and they had so many young players step up. Like obviously Kuminga this season, we look at Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, Juan Toscano-Anderson, Gary Payton II this year. That's 5 guys just in the last 2 years that they've been able to develop when they weren't good.
Yeah.
And now they're contributors to a championship contender.
I know. Again. I think that one year when they were really struggling, that year when Curry was hurt, and like all of these guys were playing, I'm like, this could be good for their. Like I was thinking that back then, like this could be good for their futures, given all these guys so many minutes. And now you see it really come to light.
Yeah.
With how good they're playing.
Yeah, they've done a really, really good job with that. Toronto has also done a really good job. I mean, their development program is probably one of the best in the league, if not the best. Because you look at like
Siakam,
you look at Van Vliet, Barnes, OG Anunoby, Boucher. They have a lot of really solid guys out there. So
even this, I've never heard of this Banton guy that played.
Oh yeah,
Delano Banton.
Yeah, he's
but he played
he's a second rounder. It's weird. They play him at point guard, but he's like 6'9". It's
really, I know.
I don't know why they didn't play like Svi Mikhailuk or Malachi Flynn with that unit because their starters have been just getting so many minutes lately.
Oh my God, I know. And they again, Siakam 42 minutes, Van Vliet 38. Damn.
Yeah. Other news in the NBA. I mean, that's really all we got to talk about for Denver. Their next game is on Monday. We talked about it yesterday. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl on that episode too. That's gonna be a bit of a longer episode. We might just start with the Super Bowl because it's the Super Bowl, and then we'll talk about the Nuggets game after that. But they play Orlando next. Hopefully, we win because I cannot.
We have to
handle losing to them again.
Yeah, I know. Again, this one's at home.
Yeah.
So we got to.
Hopefully, Gary gets like an ovation.
Yeah.
Because I remember he wasn't able to get one when they played last year. I mean, they're fans, but they're like 10 or something. Like it was one of the first games that fans were back.
Kind of like the packed house in Toronto.
Yeah. I think that they're going to be at 50% in 2 weeks. So it's good for Toronto's fan bases.
I know. I was gonna say they better be at 100% by the playoffs, dude.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed off being a player and a fan.
Like, what do they do about like the Jurassic Park thing, like that they do outside? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Like, if there's not 100%, is that Jurassic Park not gonna be 100%? Because then at that point, it's like not the same experience.
I have no idea.
Gonna be something to watch. Damn, all these games are really close right now.
I know. I'm trying to. This Nets stream literally just froze on me. I'm like, of course.
Yeah. Other news in the NBA: Joel Embiid. Man, he's something else. As Nuggets fans, we're like not supposed to like him, but I love him. I love Joel Embiid. He's impossible to dislike.
Yeah.
He is legitimately impossible to dislike, and it also doesn't help that he is like I don't know if he's the favorite to win MVP right now, but the way he's playing and the fact that Jokic won last year and how reluctant the media was to like give him his credit, to me, I feel like Embiid is gonna. He's probably the front runner right now.
Yeah, and then the NBA could really start this new like storyline of like Josh Allen, Mahomes, in the NFL.
Yeah,
and then Embiid, Jokic in the NBA.
If the NFL does such a great job of like marketing, like markets don't exist in the NFL.
Yeah,
like they don't. Like obviously that like LA and New York, those are the teams that are gonna generate the most stuff. But like that's not even like true because Buffalo. In the divisional round, Buffalo was the market that garnered the most views, and Kansas City was second.
Mm-hmm.
LA was last.
Yeah.
Sure. So like
it's awesome.
The NBA or NFL does a great job of marketing everybody. Like Buffalo and Kansas City, if those were the two teams in the NBA, nobody would even know who Josh Allen was.
I know.
So literally, the NBA needs to take some notes about what the NFL does because Jokic and Embiid, you don't want to pin them as like a rivalry because neither of them dislike each other. I mean, they both, I'm pretty sure, enjoy each other's company. Like they both are friends, but you can pin it as a kind of like battle for the top position in the NBA. But
this
only want to talk about
this trade deadline was just like what you said, just put into action. Like my God, the media was just forcing the Lakers to make a trade.
Yeah.
And now they're forcing Goran Dragic to LA. I'm like, if this is the NFL, Le'Veon Bell, Josh Gordon, LaShawn McCoy to Tampa, but Le'Veon Bell, Josh Gordon, like bandwagon to the Chiefs, like Kansas City. Whereas in the NBA, the media forces players to go to a Lakers team who was 9th in the West. They forced the Lakers to make a trade, which they didn't, and then they get a bunch of hate. I'm like, why are you hating? They got no one to trade. I don't know.
Yeah, they like that's like, JJ Redick said it really smart. Like on his podcast, he was like, the Lakers didn't make a trade. Like I wasn't. He said I wasn't shocked that they didn't make a trade. I was shocked that they didn't do anything stupid.
Yeah,
because of just how much pressure was on them to do something. So
even Woj, dude, his only 2 tweets of teams that are not expected to make a trade, he tweeted the Lakers are not going to make a trade, and the New York Knicks are not going to make a trade.
Yeah,
like come on, man, like it's just horrible marketing.
Yeah, they do a really bad job. Like, and I think a huge part of it is that the NBA is so driven on social media, and Jokic, obviously, I mean, doesn't have social media, but I think Nick Wright, I hate talking about Nick Wright because I don't like him, but he said something like, someone asked him, he's like, oh, you don't think he didn't think Jokic was a top 5 player because he's a moron. But he said, he's like, you look at Giannis, Embiid, I think it was LeBron, KD, and Steph. It's like, out of those 5, who are you taking Jokic out of? And I'm like, I'm taking him over all of them, first off. But secondly, all those 5 guys are extremely active on social media.
Yeah.
Like they all have a social media presence. So everyone knows about them. Like they market themselves because they know the NBA isn't going to do anything for them unless you're LeBron. So that's why Jokic doesn't do it. And like, I'm not like, I'm glad he doesn't do it because the fact that you have to have a social media, like even 2K did it like a couple of years ago, like Jokic wasn't a 90 or something. And then someone was like, why isn't Jokic a 90? And they're like, oh, maybe if he gets a social media, we'll do it.
I know. I saw that. I'm
really?
Like,
that's how you're judging him? If he
like these are the times we're in right now. Like
it was just, so that is, that's something that is very annoying. The fact that just because they have to market themselves. So that's why Jokic isn't, talked about so much. But
God, like imagine if Jokic was in LA. My goodness.
they wouldn't shut up about him.
I mean, he's the best player in the league if he's in LA, like without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's wild, dude. Like they just hype up guys like, oh my God, Klay Thompson just literally just like football trucked over Austin Reeves. But they like market guys like THT and like come on, man. THT is not good.
Yeah, every
he's good.
Single role player in Los Angeles gets hyped up.
Yeah. They swear THT is good. You could trade THT and a first round pick and get like Bradley Beal. Like, come on. It's wild. And I really don't see it changing. Like,
it's not going to change. No, it's like too far into the into the system for it to change at this point. So, and like Giannis is now starting to get a lot of media attention, but it's because he won a championship and he proved the doubters wrong. So until the Nuggets are able to win a championship, no one's going to talk about this.
Yeah.
And even now, I mean, Stephen A. Smith, like JJ Redick, once again, he is by far the most knowledgeable analyst on ESPN. Yeah. And there's a reason he's not on there more often is because he keeps owning every single person he debates against. Like, but he said something on First Take. He was like, it's like, how is Giannis not clutch? He had 50 points in a game 6 in the NBA Finals to close out and win a championship. And Stephen A. Smith was like, so? Like,
I really? Actually see that.
He's like, do you not know basketball? Like, I'm so confused. Like, what do you want from a player to do? Like, what else do you want?
Yeah, I mean, we know Stephen A. has like hate against international players with Ohtani. And even like I think Luka Doncic is getting kind of disrespected now too. Like I don't see really anything about Luka, even with this crazy streak he's had. Like Luka I think he does get more media attention than Jokic, because as you said, like he does promote himself and he's just, a guard and people like
he's more like watchable.
Yeah, but still, like the way he's got this Mavs team 10 games over 500.
Yeah.
They're not a good team, really.
No, it was like a couple of seasons ago. I remember like when Zion came into the league, his first season, they were trying to push him so hard that, he's the future. And Zion is an incredible player. He's a phenomenal talent. He's like, and last season he had, I think, one of the most underrated seasons like that I've seen in recent memory. And he averaged like 25 or 26 a game on 60% shooting. And he had like one move and he only went to his left hand. Like he had an incredible season, but they were trying to push him so much. And it's like, well, Luka's right here. Like if you want a face of the league, who's a young guy. I mean, Luka was in his second season at this point. Like you want to face the league, Luka Doncic is right there.
Yeah.
Like, he's right there for you to market and promote. And they didn't do it until the bubble, which is
I know. And I don't know like if it is because, they're like white and unathletic.
Yeah.
And Luka. Because I mean, like Giannis and Embiid do get a ton of media coverage, even though they're international players.
It's like the, I don't know if why it has anything to do with it, but it's definitely just like they don't dunk, they don't, they're not gonna jump over somebody and block them. Like Embiid had a dunk tonight that was just unbelievable, and like rightfully so, it got a ton of media attention. But like Jokic was, he had 18 points in the first quarter and no one heard a peep about it because he was ho-hum, boom, one dribble, drop step, layup.
And it's just so different because Embiid slams on Jared Allen there. Jokic scores 2 as well with a floater. Yeah. That's not, it's the same result.
Yeah.
But Embiid just does it cooler, I guess.
Yeah. But the MVP race is tightening up a lot now, so it's going to be fun to watch. I think top 3. I think both of us still have Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic in some order, but that top 3 is really tightening it, and I'm waiting.
I think Embiid is really closing the race because I was thinking Jokic was like really leading it by quite a margin. I would say, and I still think he he is the MVP. But
yeah,
what Embiid is doing recently, and compared to what Jokic has been doing, not scoring as much recently, not really playing as well as he should, and it's probably because he's tired or something, as Malone said.
Yeah.
So we'll see coming out of the All-Star break. It'll be a cool race to the finish line for him.
And I think once the news about like when Jamal Murray is actually going to start to come back, like, because right now all we know is it's going to be post All-Star break and it's some point in March, but once like the official date gets announced, or once like he gets sent down to the G League, so you know that he's starting to get like 5-on-5 in, then I think Jokic might start to ease up a little bit, because he's like, all right, help is on the way. Like, we're going to be okay. We're going to be fine. And he'll start to play a little more like how we're used to. And today I thought he played really well. It's just the second and third quarter. I mean, part of it was
there wasn't in the third quarter, right? We didn't talk about this. But.
Like, part of it was him just like not getting the ball, but like people not passing it to him. But other part of it is him not like demanding the ball. Like, he has to demand it. You are the best player on the team. You should demand the ball. Yeah.
I think the third quarter, I mean, they did score 27 in the third quarter, but it didn't feel like good.
It was not. The defense was just horrible in the third quarter.
Yeah. And I think it's just Jokic always comes out in the first quarter really well. And I don't know if it's teams like adjusting after halftime. Like, they get the look at Jokic in the first quarter and they're like, geez, like, he just completely destroys them in the first quarter because they don't know how to guard him. And I don't know if it's their halftime adjustments that limit him from scoring, or if he's just not as hype coming out of halftime as he is starting the game or something. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's something
these third quarters are rough.
Yeah, it's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on going forward, because he's got to be better in terms of his aggressiveness throughout the whole game.
Yeah. I mean, he had 21 in the first half.
Yeah.
And he finished with 28.
And he had 18 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then he only had 2 shot attempts going into the fourth after that. So like, part of it is the fact, I mean, at any time anyone not named Bones Highland tries to get him the ball, it's turnover. So that's part of it. But also, like, I mean, we talked about it on a podcast episode before. Like, Jokic has to do a better job of making himself open. Because right now, he's allowing defenders to front him, and like he's putting the entry passer in difficult spots to throw it. So I don't know, maybe something's off chemistry wise, but Jokic has to do a better job of it. But I mean, it's mostly on the players, because like some of the entry passes are just like they're easy, like they're very simple. I mean, Toronto was making entry passes all game, and Denver couldn't make a single proper one until Bones started. Like, Jokic and Bones was a 2-man game late in the game, and it was really, really working. So I'm very, very excited about the potential for that.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the potential of Bones.
Hopefully Zeke is okay as well.
Yeah.
He came out with a hamstring, and I think he had a hamstring earlier in the season too.
Hamstrings are so annoying, man. They just keep it kept happening to KJ Hamler too. Yeah. Just popping up and up, like they're rough.
Yeah. I think that might be it, unless you got anything else.
I think that was a solid episode.
Yeah. Solid road trip for the Nuggets. I mean, you go back to back against 2 of the hottest teams in the NBA, and you split it, and you're competitive in both games.
Yeah.
That's pretty successful, I would say, at least. So
yeah, I would too.
Yeah. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. Got some big things planned for that. So yeah. Thanks for watching.